Welcome back. Today I'm going to try to solve some puzzles on chess.com as part of my 4th puzzle run. I'm just underneath 2400 in my puzzle rating and I'm going to try to get back above it today. But first I want to say I really appreciate all those of you that watch these videos, those of you that have subscribed to the channel and leave helpful supportive comments. I've never asked anyone to subscribe to this channel and I have over 1400 subscribers, so that means some of you like this type of content. Thank you. And if you're new here, I'm not a titled player or chess coach. I'm not here to teach you how to play chess. I'm just a random person trying to teach me how to play chess in the limited time that I have available each day. Let's go ahead and switch over here. I will click on the puzzles. As you can see, 2374. I have updated my puzzles checklist. The first thing that I do is look at the material count. Here we each have 3 minor pieces, 2 rooks and a queen, and our pawns are relatively equal, although my opponent looks like they might have a couple more pawns than I do. And the next thing I do is look for tactical motifs. That includes trapped pieces, pins, skewers, possible checkmates, and so on. I don't obviously see a trapped piece at the moment. It looks like their queen is defended, their knight's defended, their rooks are safe, this bishop's defended. My bishop is defended as well, so I'm not seeing anything really obvious. It's probably something obvious, but I have no idea what that is. I'm going to take the bishop and then we'll try to figure out why that was wrong if it's wrong, and why it was right if it was right. So that was not it. Let's go to the analysis board. Wow, 11 more points. Okay, I'm apparently getting pretty bad at this. Let's go to the analysis board, and my opponent took that pawn. Why is the analysis turned off by default now? I've turned it on every time I've come to the analysis board. I have a mate in 2. So apparently I didn't correctly look at my threats. I have to play queen to g5 here, and there's nothing they can do about it, because then that bishop is pinned, and it doesn't matter where their king goes or what pawn they move or what piece they take. I'll have checkmate there on the next turn. Wow. So if I restart this puzzle, it has to be queen to g5. Oh, and that would have been the end of the puzzle, I guess, because it wouldn't matter what my opponent did on the next turn. Sorry, I'm going back to the analysis board. Why did the puzzles... And again, it's turned off. That's so weird. It didn't always used to be like that. All right, after they play here and I play here, there's probably a lot more possible moves that they have, but I suppose any legal move that they make will allow this, because they can't defend that spot with their queen, they can't defend that spot with their knight, they can't defend that spot with their bishop or their rook. It says they might play d3, but yeah, why didn't the puzzle continue? That's my only mate. It's not like I had a mate in 2 if I did a different move. Okay. That's weird that the puzzle didn't go on. Okay. I mean, I completely understand it because now that bishop is pinned, but I certainly didn't see that from back here, so clearly I have some work to do. That was 8 minutes on my end. Next puzzle. All right, I am playing with the black pieces. All right, I do have checks in this puzzle. I have a check down here, which only allows one legal move. I think the king would have to come up, and then I could check over there, which would only leave one legal move. But then what would I do? Well, then I could check with the rook. Sorry, let's see. Check on d8. King only has one legal move to f2. Then I could check on g1. Did I say d8? That's d1. Wow, I need practice. Queen to d8. I did it again. Queen to d1 check. King has to go to f2. I then wouldn't want to check with my rook because they would take. I wouldn't want to check over here with the queen because they would take my rook. So queen to g1 check, where the rook and the queen protect each other. That would only leave them the legal move of going to e2. Now my queen is under attack by their bishop, but I can check again with my rook, which would leave them only one legal move to come to d3, at which point I could bring my queen back to d1, but then they can escape here, and I don't think I've gained anything. All right. I apologize, I was interrupted by a phone call, and the whole time there's been a dog barking right out here, so... And I'm thinking of tactical motifs. Their queen is undefended, but it's not trapped that I can see. Like if I check here, they just take the queen, right? I mean, take my rook. So it's not that. And if I check with my rook, they get out. Wait, okay. We already noticed that their queen was undefended. So maybe I can get over here to check in just a few moves. If I check here, they only have one legal move. I think we're sure about that. When I check on g1, they only have one legal move. When I check with my rook on g2, they only have one legal move. And then I bring my queen over here to check on b1, and they can't defend their queen. Oh, I hope that's right. Oh, that part was. Well, this part has to be, and this part, and this part. Oh, I hope that's right, because I'm pretty sure I don't have a mate. Oh, wow, it took me a long time. And that one only has a pass rate of 46%. The previous puzzle had a pass rate of 67%. So I felt bad about that last one, but this one I'm in the minority of people who passed this puzzle, although the target time is 25 seconds and it took me like 6 minutes. Well, good. I'm not a complete failure. Next puzzle. I will remember, check the material count first. I have 2 rooks and a queen. They have 2 rooks and a queen. I have 1 minor piece. They have 2 minor pieces, but they're undeveloped and their rook is undeveloped. So it's not going to be trading probably because they're already up on material. And my knight's in danger. What are the tactical motifs here? I can save the knight by attacking the rook, but then the rook just moves. I don't know where it would move, but it can move to a spot that continues to protect the bishop, so it's not quite, a fork or anything. And then I don't have a check, and I don't think it would be worth it to take there. I can put the knight over here, but that also doesn't set up a check or a fork or anything like that. Is their queen trapped? Let's see if their queen is trapped. If I put my rook on f1, my rooks are protecting each other, and of course would be knocking off that whole file and this, and my queen is hitting here and here and here and here, there, and my knight is hitting a couple of those squares. But the queen would have at least 2 safe squares to go to. So I don't think it's trapping the queen, or at least not that way. I do have a check, but they would just take my queen. Okay, so I don't think it's a trapped piece. There is a backward pawn, but I can't get to it immediately. Wait, I have a fork right now. Oh my. Why didn't I see that? I saw that the knight could go to e6 to attack the rook, and I saw that the knight could go safely to b5, but for some reason it took me a long time to see c6, which is a fork. Well, that is a check, so maybe I should forget about tactical motifs since I don't understand what they are, and just look at my checks like a normal person. I already looked at this check, that's bad. Knight to c6 is a check. Their king would have 1, 2, 3, nope, not there, 4 legal moves. If it went back there to the corner, I think I would follow with my queen. So I don't think it's going to go back to the corner, but that leaves it 3 legal moves. Besides the corner, I also don't think that the king will move to b7 because then it's a check again when I hit the rook. So I think the king, after I check here on c6, I think the king will go to one of these 2 squares to protect the rook and get my knight back. But if the king went back to c8, then I could check with the queen, and then it would end up having to come to one of those 2 squares where I would probably then take the rook, and the king would take the rook, and then I could check and maybe win the bishop or something. Well, that's the best thing I've come up with so far, but again, we counted the material. They're up a whole minor piece. This just puts me up the exchange. I take the rook, they take back. Oh, and then this pawn's undefended, so I would get the pawn with check, and then my rook's behind it. Okay, I bet that's it. Okay, I take the rook and then I get this pawn, right? Oh, apparently not. They've checked me. Should I take it? Take here? And then my knight gets away, but I don't know if that's good. Oh my, I didn't expect that queen move. Well, it's too bad that I'm in check because then I could fork here with the knight. I don't think I should block with the pawn. Then they'd take my queen, I assume, and I would need to take back, or would I check? Wait, what if I take with the pawn, block with the pawn, they take me, then I check. No, that's too complicated because then they still come toward my knight and I still have to take their queen. So I take their queen, which is what I would probably play in a game. They're not going to take my knight then, correct? They're going to take back, and then I'm going to escape with my knight with check and win their bishop? Maybe. I'm going to take the queen. Okay. Oh, wait, is it going here because their rook is trapped? And after I took their rook, then I would have 2 rooks for their 2 minor pieces? Or is it checking and winning the bishop? If I check and they come toward me and I win their bishop, then they hop their knight out of here and then my knight is toast. But I would still be up on material at that point. So that's the question. Should I check or go after their trapped rook? Because we did notice at the beginning that they had 3 undeveloped pieces. So I can get the rook for the knight right now, or I can go here and just get the bishop. But then, as I said, my knight will end up not being able to get out anywhere, and it will just be that even trade. This way I get the rook for the knight. Okay, I'm going there. Okay, well, I'm going to take the rook. Since they didn't move toward me, am I going to be able to get out? It's got to be taking the rook, right? Not the knight. Okay, that went a different direction than I thought it would. Oh, and that only has a pass rate of 26.2%, which you can't see. There, you can see it, 26.2%. That's a really low pass rate. And this time, I did remember to put my camera back. I forgot that once before. Okay, and now I'm 1 point lower than where I started this video. I have time for at least one more puzzle. Hopefully I will finish above the point at which I started this video, unlike my last one and the one before that. and the one before that. Next. I am not fully developed, and neither is my opponent, but they've gotten their queen out early for some reason. Their queen started here on d8 and has now done this. I guess they're aiming for a quick checkmate here. Is that what they're looking at? Or are they aiming here? Oh, because my queen would just move over. Let's do the material count. We both have 2 rooks. We both have 2 bishops. We both have 2 knights. We both have a queen, and we both have 7 pawns. So it's exactly identical. I do not have any checks, and I also don't have any captures. Okay, so it's going to be a threat then. What are the tactical motifs? Again, not sure I understand what that means, but they have undeveloped pieces just like I do, but it looks like their pieces are more trapped than mine. Their queen isn't trapped, I don't think. Like, if I were to attack their queen with my knight, which is a fork, the queen is the only thing defending the bishop, so it would want to stay close, I assume. It probably would not want to come up one, because then I can attack the queen with this dark squared bishop. So if I were to play knight to h4, I think their queen would go the other way, probably f6. But maybe also to e6. I don't know. It's going to go to one of those 2 squares, probably. And then, do I take the bishop? If I take the bishop, then I assume that the queen would take back. And then after the queen took back, I would play here with this light squared bishop, which would pin the queen to their king. I bet that's it. Oh, they did that instead. Oops. Well, I misunderstood that completely then, didn't I? Okay, should I take their queen? And then they're going to take mine. And then I'll take their rook. Or should I check them? Which they could block with the pawn, which I could then take again. Let's see, if I check them and they just move over, then I can get my queen out. But now I'm down a pawn. I don't know. I'm going to take their queen. Oh, and they took mine. Okay, well, now do I take their rook? Because they can't take my rook. But I can't get back out. Oh, yeah, I can. No, because they'll move the knight, so I won't be able to get out. But I will have gotten the rook for the knight. And if they don't let me out, like if they try to save their bishop, then I can come out over here. Wait. Let's see, if I take their rook, they're going to put their bishop over here on b3, which guards my getaway square. Wait, I can just take their bishop now. But if I take their bishop now, then they're going to take my knight. Okay, I'm going to take the rook. Oh, and that one has a really high pass rate, 70%. Okay, so it probably shouldn't have been that hard for me. Well, hopefully I've edited out how long it took on those first 2 puzzles, especially. And again, I appreciate any of you who spend your time here. I'm always flattered when I notice how many subscribers I have, because again, I've never asked anyone to subscribe. I'm just doing this, for my own benefit, really, to keep my mind from deteriorating as I get old, and hopefully to get better at this. Maybe a little ego boost, which is actually the opposite has happened. I've had a huge ego crash since I started learning how to play chess better. I learned how to play when I was a kid, but I'm trying to learn how to play better, and that turned out to be a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. But anyway, appreciate all your support. Thank you. I'll see you next time. But first, I want to say I really appreciate all those. But first, I'd like to say I really appreciate all those of you who have subscribed and